Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stampin' Up with Jaimie. This is my Wednesday night Facebook Live tutorial. If you're catching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Below, you'll find a link to my blog as well as a link to my store. If you are in need of any questions or supplies, be sure to check those out. I'm just making sure I'm up and running, and I am good on Facebook. Awesome. Okay, tonight's card is one that I was kind of playing around with earlier, and I don't usually do fancy fold cards, but this one's pretty easy, and I'll walk you through it. But it's got this kind of belly band that goes around it. So what you do is you pull it off. That kind of stays to the side, and then you open this up, and then there's your card inside. It's basically the same thing, except it has these doors to it, as opposed to just like the one flap that opens up. Good evening, Michelle. Hi, Karen. So that's that. And I did a little bit of tweaking for the one I'm going to do for you guys tonight. I was looking at this and I thought, oh, I probably would do this different, or maybe I would do that a little different. So I did a little bit of tweaking on the one I'm going to do tonight. So let's just dive in, and I have all the measurements here to give you in case you would like to play with this at home. And I usually keep things super simple. I don't do things that are really complicated. So you should be able to do this just fine, no problems at all. So our card base is Highland Heather, and it is 5.5 by 8.5. And then I scored it at 2 1/8 and 6 3/8. That gives us a symmetrical kind of window here. And what you're going to do, just want to make sure that you crease your edges well. So be sure to use your bone folder and give it a nice crease there. That kind of holds it somewhat down. It's always going to kind of want to pop open, but somewhat down. And then you're going to need a piece of Gorgeous Grape cardstock. And this is 2 inches by 9 3/4. Hi, Amy. Good evening. And then I scored it at 2 3/8 and 6 3/4. This is the kind of the base of the belly band. And again, just use your bone folder to give it a nice crease to make sure it stays put. You're also going to need like this little whisper white window, so to speak. And this is 1 3/4 by 4 1/8. So they're kind of like odd measurements, different, lots of 1/8, 3/8, whatnot, but just use your grid paper. I would highly recommend the scoring board that we sell. It makes scoring these very specific measurements a lot easier. So let's just start here. I'm using the Above the Clouds stamp set. This is in brand new from the new annual catalog. It's just some really fun images and sentiments. You know me, I'm a sucker for some punny sentiments. And what I like about it is that it bundles with a punch. So here's the punch. It's the hot air balloon punch. And what's nice about a punch is that it's so user-friendly. You can have absolutely no experience in card making or any technique experience. You can manage a punch real easily. I use these a lot in my classes, and they're really quick. They're easy to just like whip out a whole bunch at the same time. And this particular punch has a spot for the hot air balloon. Over here in the corner is the spot for like the little basket. And then this is a little triangle, and that's how I cut out all the banners that I have running up through the card there. So we're going to be using that tonight, Above the Clouds. And let's just go ahead and stamp. Oh, you know what I just realized? I didn't grab any ink pads. I actually only need this one and this one. Okay. I just did some same color on same color stamping here. So this is Highland Heather ink, and I'm using the trio. Oh, I just realized I mounted the wrong stamp. So it's like, it could be a 2-step stamp. You have this one here as the outline, and then this would be the fill. Same as up here. You could do this as the outline, either one, and then that would be your fill. If you didn't want to use the fill, you could definitely use like Stampin' Blends or an aqua painter to color your hot air balloons in. That would work. And then if you didn't want to punch out a banner, there is one down here. That would be the outline, and then you would stamp that underneath This one isn't included in the punch, so you can either stamp it directly onto the paper or fussy cut it out. This is super easy to fussy cut. It's just triangles. Hi, Rachel. Good evening. Hi, Lynn. I get to see both of you tomorrow. I'm super excited. Oh, you love the banner. Thank you. Okay, so I have, let's set that aside, Highland Heather ink. And gosh, there's really no rhyme or reason. I just kind of scattered them across the card. You kind of want some varying ones next to each other. These ones down here you don't really see, but maybe you get like the top there of that one. And let's see here, we'll do this guy down here. And maybe, I don't want it perfectly lined up to the top. I want it kind of varied. And then we'll have a little one poking from the bottom. Just kind of a design tip is you want your images running off the page. Now, sometimes you want everything kind of to fit perfectly within a space. Hi, Kirsten, good evening. But artistically, it's appealing to the eye. That sounds so formal, but to have your images running off your paper that you're working with. So in this case, I have some balloons that are running off. They don't all perfectly fit into this space. So let's set that aside. Now I'm going to work on the belly band. I already gave you your measurements. If you missed those, you can go back and watch the video from the beginning. I gave those at the very beginning. And so it comes off. Our card, the base of it is the Grapefruit Grove, which I've already cut out. I'm going to use some tear and tape to hold it together. The tear and tape is just that much stronger than snail. And it really will hold and last. It's permanent, I guess is an easy way to say that. And I don't want this coming apart. So I'm going to put one on the bottom and then one on the top. And they're just little stickers. So you peel it off and fold it over. Now, when I fold the belly band over, I'm not going to push it tightly closed into it. I'm going to kind of leave a little bit of a gap. So there's a little bit of give there. If you do your belly band too tight, your card won't fit in it. So it should kind of be able to naturally open by itself. It shouldn't be like sealed shut. Where's the one I just did? And before you go any further, you may want to just test it. Because if it's too tight and you can't get your card in there, then you're going to have to work on your dimensions again. But the ones I gave you should give you this result, and your card should fit in there just fine. Now, here's the thing. As I went about this belly band, my example one, I didn't use, this is Daffodil Delight. It's kind of a darker yellow. The one that I actually used in the pennant is just like pants. Exactly. Is Pineapple Punch. I didn't think I had any on hand, and literally 1 minute before I went live just now, I just was like, I wonder if I do have a Pineapple Punch. And look at that. I had a square that perfectly cut out the size that I needed. However, I wasn't sure actually if I wanted to use it. So you guys let me know. I did the circle more just because I wanted it to cover the seam. But honestly, I could put the balloon over that seam and you won't even see it. So let's not do that quite yet. And I did cut this Whisper White is a little bit smaller than the example here. This just looked kind of tight to me, and I wanted that purple to show through just a little bit to kind of ground the colors. I'm using lots of colors, and if you know me, that's kind of outside my comfort zone. I'm usually like maximum a 3-color girl. So I needed something to kind of ground it. So I did cut that a little smaller. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hot air balloon punch. And this little guy here is the triangle. And I'll walk you through. This is Mango Melody, Pineapple Punch, Granny Apple Green. Under there, he's kind of hidden, is Coastal Cabana, Bermuda Bay, Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape, Flirty Flamingo, and Lovely Lipstick. Now, the funny thing is, I can't remember why I go to the grocery store for the life of me, but I can whip off the names right off the top of my head. It's amazing what we remember and recall. It just astonishes me. So you're going to you really just honestly need the tiniest piece of paper and just slip it into that triangle space and give it a punch. And then you get a triangle. And I'm pretty sure it's a perfect triangle. I was trying to see before if there's a top and a bottom to it. And it really, not that I could figure out, or at least nothing dramatic. It looks like a perfect triangle to me. So we're going to just assume that they're all the same measurement. I mean, doesn't it look the same, or is it just me? I can't tell. I didn't measure it up. Let's see here. That's a 1/2 inch. That's about a 1/2 inch. Yeah, that's a perfect triangle. So, but to save time, I did it all ahead of time. These are all of the colors. They're well, the Lovely Lipstick is an in color. What else? And I think most of them are in the Brights family. So this is just a bright, cheerful card. That triangle has a little snippet missing. Hold on, I'm going to cut it out again. Hold on. It looks like, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb and someone just called me. I'm sure it cut out for a second. I apologize. Hopefully she doesn't go back. Okay, so we're going to take our Whisper White, and I kind of wanted like a swooping banner. You could do it anyways. You could have it a perfect swoop, like top to top corner. You could have it just go straight to like bottom to top. You could have it go like perfectly horizontal, but I kind of wanted a swoop, and you have to play with it a little bit. So I started off with Mango Melody. Excuse me. Next is the Pineapple. Why do I not see Granny Apple Green? Did I drop it? Oh, hold on. I'm missing one. So sorry about that. Where is it? Here we go. Next we have Granny Apple Green, which is such a fun, bright green. It definitely is like a granny apple. That's a perfect description of the color. And then I did the Coastal Cabana. And I know I wanted to end over here. So again, I just kind of played with it. Hi, Connie. Good evening. Hello, hello. Let's see here. This is the Fleur de Flamingo. And you could have like a piece of ribbon that it's so-called like attached to. But I kind of figure since I'm adhering them close enough to one another, they didn't need one. It was kind of assumed that there was something holding them all together. But you could get like a piece of baker's twine. Ooh, this is going to be tight. I may have to look at that. Somehow I have to get another one in there. So I got to make it swoop a little bit lower. Will that work? Get in there. Oh, that's a tight squeeze. So I did, like I said, this is a smaller piece of Whisper White, and you can see it is definitely a tighter. I may have to have those hang off and trim them a bit. There we go. Something like that. Okay. That gives me the idea so that now I can go ahead and glue them down. I was going to do some card magic and have this already done for you, but I figured, you know, maybe it's relaxing for you to watch me glue down different pennants. That one I'm going to have hang off a little bit because I think I'm going to be a little tight spaced. And the Pineapple Punch. Now I'm using the sentiment in my example, you're off to great places. But for you guys, I'm going to use the sentiment, what is it? Hi, friend. Because I figured that was just a little bit more general for you. I have a graduation coming up, a graduation party that I need a card. Oops. I have a party coming up, so I specifically needed a graduation card. I was going to say something now. I can remember all these colors, the names of them, but then when I know. I'm using the liquid glue to adhere it down just because it gives me a little bit of time to kind of fiddle with it if I need to move the colors around a little bit. If I were to use snail or certainly anything that's permanent adhesive, it's not quite as forgiving. This one I can kind of shimmy around. I can do it long after I've glued it down, but it does give me a little bit of time. So something to consider. Good old liquid glue. Gotta love it. Okay. Fleur de Flamingo. Let me tell you though, you're gonna get all sticky by the time you're done with it if you're using the glue. There. Oh, look, it looks like I did have enough room. Let's see if this guy ends up hanging off. Oh, just a little bit. Okay, so there's my pennant. Isn't that so fun? I just think that's so cheerful. And here's the thing. I'm just going to flip it over and give it a little bit of haircut. Well, do I have to? I'll haircut that one. I find it really challenging to make cards for like teens or young adults. There's tons that Stampin' Up! Has for like older women or young kids, but sometimes it's hard. I think that like tween, teen, young adult kind of age gap, it's really sometimes hard to come up with things for them. And I think this is very neutral. You could switch up the colors, do more masculine colors. You could do more cutesy colors for younger kids, or just keep it like this. I think this would be a great like teen card. And I just think it's very versatile, the design. Now, I meant to do this straight from the get-go and I forgot. So we're going to stamp the sentiment. In my example, used the "You're off to great places," and it does fit almost like perfectly there. I would suggest stamping it first and then start gluing your pennant, just to make sure that you've left enough room. But in my case, for you guys, I'm using the Hi Friend, and I for sure will have enough room there. It's a really kind of tiny sentiment, and I should probably test it ahead of time. I haven't used this particular one yet. Yep, we're good. And I'm stamping in Bermuda Bay. Oh, isn't that fun? Even the font on that is just so fun. I love it. Okay, so let's start to put things together. Here's the thing. Here is my belly band. Should we do the stitched background? I honestly am quite on the fence about it. Maybe I should do the balloon first and then we decide. But that's what that would look like. I kind of like that, even without the balloon there. Hi, Lori from Minnesota. Oh, that's okay. I was I on 2 weeks ago? I missed a couple of weeks in there too for birthdays. If not, that's what that looks like. I kind of like it without it. Let's think about that. I'm going to go do the balloon here, and then when I'm done without gluing it all down, we'll kind of decide what we want to do. So I'm using, let's see here, I'm going to use this one for you guys, switch it up a little bit with that stamped inside of it. Leave it off the card. Yeah, that's the way I'm kind of leaning, Karen. I kind of like it almost without it. I'll keep going and then we can decide. Okay, so we're using the Bermuda Bay ink again for the hot air balloons. Oh my goodness, I just put my hand in it. Hold on. I had a class here on Monday and I happen to have baby wipes on me, thank goodness, because I just put my hand in the ink pad. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's try this again. So hot air balloon, I'm using this one, the ones that have like the vertical lines, and stamp it straight on how it would look correct. Don't stamp it upside down, because that's the way it's going to go into the punch, and it will just make punching it out a lot easier. So now I'm going to take the inside image, the filler, so to speak. And this one is still Bermuda Bay, but I'm going to stamp off and then stamp on. So it's the same color, just a lighter shade. And in theory, this should work. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And I just realized I didn't block up the basket. So let's see if I can do this without getting ink everywhere. So first the outline of the basket. I'm going to do this one up here. I think it's sideways. Well, I'm going to do it this way. Well, how does it go in? Okay, kind of sideways. So the basket is solid. And then I'm going to take the filler, ink it up, stamp off, and then stamp over. So again, it's the same hue, it's the same color, it's just a shade lighter, which is really nice. Take your punch, you're going to slide it, feed it in, and then align it up. The nice thing, it has like a little white outline, so it's a little forgiving. And punch. Then line up. Oh, no, I guess I didn't calculate that right. Let's see here. Will that work? There we go. Line up your basket. Again, there's a white outline, so it's pretty forgiving. And then punch. There you go. Okay, so where did I put everything? This is this. Is that a distinctive stamp set with the highlight on the solid hot air balloon? I believe it is, Rachel, based on all the texture in it. I don't think it's marked as a distinctive stamp set because it just has the one. But I think like all the fillers are. So like that would be a distinctive. The clouds would be those ones. And then, so basically any filler and the clouds would be your distinctive. Yes. And if you look at the stamp set itself, it has like a varying degree. It's not a solid. It's not like that. See how there's almost like some shading on it? So you're going to get that in your stamped image. So don't think like, oh, wait, why didn't it stamp completely? It's because this side of it is meant to be lighter than that side. It's just how the stamp is. So if we were to not put the yellow underneath, and I'm with you, Karen, I'm kind of leaning not to. That's what it would look like. What do we think? I kind of like it without. If we had the yellow, this is what it would look like. That would kind of be like a little bit more there. Whoops. Oh, it stuck to my thumb. And then that would be like there. Leave it off, Michelle says. Okay, so does Karen, so we'll leave it off. That's the kind I was leaning, honestly, so I'm glad we're all on the same page. Okay, so let's glue this down. I'm going to be a little generous just because I really want to make sure this isn't going anywhere. The yellow is too bold. Well, you know how I feel about yellow anyways, Rachel. I was kind of like, you know, trying to push myself and like, okay, it's okay to use yellow. Okay, there's that. And then here's the seam. I don't know if you can see it. The seam of the belly band is right there. So you can have it showing. It's not the end of the world. But I can kind of place my hot air balloon just so it's hidden. And I'm going to adhere it down with dimensionals. And then a mini dimensional for the basket. That big dimensional is too big. I know, yellow. Ugh. I try sometimes really hard to use it. And I'm not a fan of the color. Unless it's like a fall color and I'm doing leaves. Oh, I try to like it. Maybe. Okay, so that's that one. And then a little basket underneath. Like so. And then I did cut Whisper White to go on the inside because why not? And this is our standard 4 by 5 1/4. Ooh, I'm running out of adhesive. You're not a yellow fan either. I know. Some people are, though. I'm just not. I try. I kind of discriminate. Okay, so on my card, because I'm doing a graduation card, on the inside I have Let Your Dreams Soar. So that's what I have with mine. But because the one I'm making for you is just kind of like a everyday hello friend card, I'm not going to put anything on the inside. I mean, you could put Life is a Beautiful Ride. You could put We Rise by Lifting Others. I'm just going to leave it blank though, because one of you guys is going to get this card and you might want to just have it be for a whole other different occasion that none of those sentiments would work for. So that's our card. Isn't that pretty? I just love those colors. I was thinking that you could even like completely not even do the hot air balloon theme and just kind of cut these out and make like confetti all over a card with that. That would be very pretty as well. I just think they're so fun. And I've used this stamp and bundle a bunch already, but I haven't used that one triangle. So I thought that was kind of different and unique. So that's the card for today. If you've been watching and haven't left some sort of a comment of some sort, it could even be an emoji, please do so, because at the end I'm going to write all your names on a piece of paper and draw a name for tonight's card. Oh, I didn't do the ribbon. I just realized. Should I do the ribbon? That was also like a very last minute thought. Here I am almost signing off and I'm like, I'm missing something. Let's see. Would you like a bow around it? That side. This is just Whisper White Baker's Twine. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Amy. This is what it would look like. I just thought it needed a little something extra. And it wasn't a color. It was like a neutral white, so it didn't you like the twine? Okay. It didn't overpower because there were so many colors on it already. It wasn't like, whoa, not another color. Okay. We'll go with it. Since we got rid of the yellow circle, we'll go with the twine. Now my trick is, and I've shared it before, when you're making a bow and you get these big bows, and then when you usually pull a tail, they twist. Just put your finger like in the center where the knot is and then pull, and it won't twist on you. They'll stay straight. I don't know why. It works though. I like really long tails. I know not everybody does. Some people cut them really short, but I don't know what I do with my scissors. There they are. So again, this is just Whisper White Baker's Twine. I don't know how much I use. Probably about 14 inches because I like my tail so long. Give it a little haircut. Yeah, I like it. You just have to make sure you're not covering the sentiment. And I have it just kind of tucked ever so slightly underneath the balloon there. Okay, there we go. Now we're done. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys liked me adding the bow because I did it. Okay, so there we go, ladies. That's it for today. And gentlemen, if any gentlemen is watching, thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, certainly let me know. Email me, check out my blog. And I will see you back next week. I'll be here. Yep, Wednesday night. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye.